All right, our next short talk is going to be from Ismael. So I'm ready to hand it over to you if you are ready.
All
Perfect.
right. Yep.
Take it.
Thanks. I'm going to present quickly things about counting animals in drone orthomosaics. I'm originally from Brazil. Yeah, now I am a postdoc in the University of Florida. So yeah, drones have been used widely to sample many different species in many different places. Their use are increasing fastly. And the most common survey method for terrestrial animals have been orthomosaics. Orthomosaics consist in rectified two-dimensional maps created from stitching overlapped images. And yeah, they have like this problem that the methods to create orthomosaics assume that the landscapes are static. So when we are interested in counting moving animals, this can be very problematic. So imagine a flight like this, in which we are like flying these different lines with overlapped images with moving animals. Here we have the individual images, and then different types of error can arise when counting um, these animals. For example, we can count an individual more than once. The individual can disappear in the final mosaic, and we can also, depending on the method we use, we can have a ghosted animal, or the animal can appear cut in half. Um, so we have discussed some strategies in this paper, how to deal with these errors. First, not using orthomosaics at all. I think that in many cases we can avoid using orthomosaics. We can just use the individual images to count animals. Um, we can try to mitigate the errors in the orthomosaics by adjusting equipment or survey design by, like, for example, flying faster or using multiple drones at the same time. Um, we can try to adapt the orthomosaic building methods, for example, trying to prioritize the pixels of the animals in the final mosaic, exemplified here. Or we can try to estimate these errors associated with orthomosaics. Um, Importantly, these errors associated with orthomosaic building processes are they sum with other errors common in ecological samplings related to imperfect detection. So we tried to estimate these errors to correct the counts in this specific study during a mass nesting event of giant Amazon turtles in the Amazon. These turtles aggregate in sandbanks to nest, thousands and thousands of turtles in the rivers there. It's really an amazing uh, phenomenon. And so we estimated these errors by painting the carapace of some turtles during 12 days of serving. Um, and in a way that we could like identify the different these individuals in the final mosaic. Um, so using these individuals, we were able to estimate some of these errors associated with the orthomosaic. For example, we saw that 12% of the turtles present in the mosaic were double counts, and 31% of the individuals that we observed in the single images disappeared when we tried to find them in the mosaic. So we built a statistical model to account for many different types, many different sources of error, including the errors associated with orthomosaic building. Um, some other errors that we had were related to the fact that turtles can return multiple times to the sandbank until nesting. So we have these 12 days of orthomosaics, and the same turtle could go back to the sandbank multiple times until nesting. When they nest, they just are gone. Then we could estimate, interestingly, like the differences in the population of these turtles in the sandbank, how the departures and entries of these turtles vary during these days. Um, and we obtained this total population size of around 41,000 turtles nesting in 12 days. This was really an impressive result for us. It has like a nice repercussion because apparently these characterize the largest aggregation of freshwater turtles in the world. Um so yeah, these turtles were usually surveyed using ground surveys. People went with a boat to these sandbanks and tried to count them from the ground, um, or they used a fence around the sandbank and tried to count all the hatchlings that emerged after the nests. So yeah, this apparently was a really nice um, development of serving methods for these species that we hopefully we expect this can be used to monitor different populations. That's it. Thanks.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Ismael. That's super interesting. I'm curious, like, what are the next steps for this now that you've done all this work, like trying it on new species or in different settings, or what are your next steps from here?
Yeah, so in this paper, we kind of discuss different applications of this method for other species in other contexts, like in which orthomosaics can be used, like colonies of uh, seals, for example, bird colonies also. We discuss different ways of trying to estimate these errors in these different contexts, and specifically for this species of turtle in the Amazon that can be that is actually threatened to extinction. Uh, we have this partnership with WCS, that is a NGO that works there, um, and they are planning like a large network for monitoring different populations throughout the distribution of this species using this method.
Okay, wonderful. There is a request in the chat for you to share your contact information again. So if you can drop that in the chat for folks to
Yeah,
have
all right,
that.
great,
Thank you so much.
thanks.